Hey, what's up, everybody? I am the Wrestling Rundown Champion, and I'm here to give you guys my review for G.F.W. Impact Wrestling, or whatever this company is called, because I know it was by this point where pretty much Jeff Jarrett had that incident where he showed up drunk at the wrestling event, and he pretty much was had departed from the company. So who knows what the name of this company was at this time, but whatever. This is kind of one of the disadvantages of pre-taping your shows 2 months in advance. Just saying. But but let's just get right into this show. We had Jeremy Borash and Josh Matthews on commentary for this show, and this was in memory of Bobby the Brain Heenan because he had passed away around this time. It's actually a pretty sad loss for the wrestling business. And then we see Johnny Impact's backstage trying to find Eli Drake because obviously of the attack that he did to him the previous episode, and he goes out to the ring and he calls out Eli Drake, and yeah, this kind of made Johnny Impact look stupid because then the commentators constantly brought up the fact how Eli Drake wasn't there. He was in Mexico defending the G.F.W. Global World Heavyweight Championship, but he continuously called him out. And instead, KM comes out with the referee and tells Johnny Impact that he's not here. And then Johnny Impact says that he saw his car out there and he might be back there in the fetal position, feeling with the fear of me. Then KM asks him if he's calling him a liar, and he says, "I'm calling you a liar, and these fans are calling you a douchebag or whatever he said." Which apparently Josh Matthews said trended on Twitter, which shows how this was a taped show because there's no way that can trend that quickly right after he said it. And then KM says that he wants a match with Johnny Impact right now for Johnny Impact's Global World Heavyweight Championship title shot. Johnny Impact accepts. He hits a super kick on him and then a running knee, and obviously KM ends up kicking out. Then KM kind of dominates Johnny Impact for a while. Then eventually Johnny Impact starts to make his comeback, and then he eventually wins with the shooting star press into an elbow drop, and then that was it. I hated this segment. It really wasn't that good of a segment. KM sucks. He absolutely sucks. He sucks on the mic. He sucks in the ring. He just absolutely sucks. So this segment gets it down. And then Pagano was backstage and he's talking to somebody. We don't really know who he's talking to, but this was it was like they were planning something because it was going to be Pagano and El Hijo del Fantasma versus Eddie Edwards and Ethan Carter III, or EC3 for short. So this kind of set the tone for that. I'm going to give this a thumbs in the middle, and I'll say why I'm going to give it a thumbs in the middle when I review that tag team match. Then we had Ava Story versus Taya Valkyrie, and Taya Valkyrie pretty much won with the straight jacket facebuster. I forget the name of the finisher, but that's what she won with. And afterwards, she talks about how she wants to go after the Knockouts Championship. Then Rosemary comes out, which I thought made sense. She got attacked Taya Valkyrie, pretty much two episodes ago, and says that she wants a title opportunity, but she says it in a really cool way, and talking about how all the demons in her head thinks she should have a title shot. So then they get into a brawl, and then Sienna runs out and attacks Rosemary, but Taya Valkyrie and Sienna kind of go at it a little bit, and then eventually they just double team Rosemary, and then Allie runs out and fights them, and then Taryn Terrell runs out, and it's a 3-on-2 attack, and Taya Valkyrie's about to go off the top turnbuckle and just crush Rosemary and Allie, but then Gail Kim runs out and makes the save, and everybody just gets laid out. And overall, I think this segment here was good. I'll give it an up. And then OVE is in Mexico, and they go up to LAX's clubhouse, and Homicide was there, and he calls Conan and tells him that OVE's arrived, and Conan tells him to give them like the special treatment until our boys arrive, and the dancer with the strippers, and then OVE's waiting for the rest of the members of LAX, and Ortiz and Santana show up, and OVE challenges them to a GFW Global Unified World Tag Team Championship match, and Santana and Ortiz accept, and that match was made official for GFW Victory Road on the next episode. So I actually like this segment. I thought it was good getting it up. And then we had Global Forge episode 2 video package, just kind of showing everybody who advanced. And then Gail, so I thought that was okay. I'll give it a thumbs in the middle. Then Gail, Kim, Allie, and Rosemary get interviewed. And Allie says pretty much that because Taryn Terrell attacked her friend Gail Kim and Tyler Valkyrie attacked her friend Rosemary, that she wanted to stick up for them. And Gail Kim wanted to put all of them on a stretcher after everything they've done to her. And Rosemary then says that they're going to make them bleed. And yeah, I thought I liked this segment here. I thought it was good, gets it up. And then we had a build-up video package for the X Division Championship match. They pretty much announced that it's going to be Trevor Lee defending the X Division Championship against Petey Williams. I'm looking forward to that match. Petey Williams talks about, pretty much his career, how he was one of the longest-reigning X Division champions in history, and now Trevor Lee is a coward. He cowarded his way to get to the X Division Championship, and that's not what the X Division Championship is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be how they're the best professional wrestlers in the world. And he said that he's going to get this final opportunity to win the X Division Championship. So I thought this video package was good, gets it up. And then we had a video package for Grado pretty much after signing with Joseph Polk's sports contract. And he talks about how he's pretty much now one of the biggest free agents. I didn't like this at all, getting it down. And then we had a tag team match. It was Pagano and El Hijo del Fantasma versus Eddie Edwards and EC3. This was a good match. I'll give it 3 stars. I didn't rate the other matches. The Johnny Impact KM match gets a star and 3/4. That was bad. Ava Story versus Tyler Valkyrie gets 2 stars. It was just there to put over Tyler Valkyrie. But this match, like I said, gets 3 stars. EC3 just wants to go right after Pagano and El Hijo del Fantasma. And Eddie Edwards then ends up just starting the matchup off. And then EC3, when he gets tagged in, just attacks both guys because he's pissed that they attacked him. And then eventually this costs EC3, so they end up getting the heat on him for a while. And then eventually Eddie Edwards gets the hot tag. And EC3 hits the TK3 on Pagano. And then he hits a cutter on El Hijo del Fantasma. But the referee's distracted by the brawling going on between EC3 and El Hijo del Fantasma. So when Eddie Edwards hits the Blue Thunder Bomb, you think he's going to get the victory. But because the referee's distracted, he didn't see the cover go down. So then eventually, behind the referee's back, Tiano Jr., El Tiano Jr. makes his debut in G.F.W. Impact Wrestling and attacks Eddie Edwards. And this causes El Hijo del Fantasma to make the cover and get the win. So El Hijo del Fantasma and Pagano win. Afterwards, all 3 guys beat down Eddie Edwards and then EC3. And then James Storm runs out to make the save and just throws them all out of the ring. They don't really attack him much. And he shakes hands with Eddie Edwards, but he kind of has like a face-off with EC3, referencing that they still have some sort of issues with each other after what happened at Slammiversary, which I liked. So I'll give this a thumbs in the middle. I like the match, but I just don't really like this AAA invasion storyline they're going with. I think it's dumb. And then Dutch Mantell gets interviewed about the actions of Lashley as of late. He talks about how, pretty much the same thing everybody's been saying. How America's top team has gotten inside the head of Lashley, and how Lashley, now that he's gone, he should just stay gone. And his thoughts on America's top team continuously invading Impact Wrestling. I didn't like this at all. Those are down. And then Johnny Impact's backstage, and he runs into El Teano Jr., Pagano, and El Hijo del Fantasma, and while he was looking for Eli Drake, and El Teano Jr. pretty much says that he hates the fact that Johnny Impact has pretty much invaded Mexico, and he hates him everywhere. He hates the fact that he's getting a title shot. So Johnny Impact then says that tonight Johnny Impact's going to yet again defend his Global World Heavyweight Championship title shot against El Tino Jr. I thought this was an okay segment. Gets a thumbs in the middle. Then we had Congo Khan versus Muhabla Shira. This match is 1 star. This was a bad match. Congo Khan won with a splash from the top turnbuckle, but this match was just bad, getting it down. Congo Khan really isn't good at all. And then we had a promo with Eli Drake, and he pretty much talks about how he's gonna stay the global champion forever because nobody's there's not that anyone can take it from him. He's just not gonna allow you, and that's just a fact of life. And I like this promo segment. It was good. Gets enough. And then Moose cuts a promo segment. I like this. He pretty much talks about his history with Lashley and how Lashley's pretty much become a punk bitch since joining up with America's Top Team. Decent promo segment, gets a thumbs in the middle. Then we had Altiano Jr. versus Johnny Impact for Johnny Impact's G.F.W. Global World Heavyweight Championship title shot. And this was actually a pretty good match. Johnny Impact and I thought Altiano Jr. worked a pretty good match. Eventually, Johnny Impact wins with the Starship Pain. I thought it was very strange. El Hijo Del Fantasma and Pagano didn't come out and try to interfere in this match because this didn't really make. What I didn't understand is why Altiano Jr. lost his first match in Impact Wrestling, but whatever. I thought this match was good though, getting it up. And then Lola Vanessa's in the crowd trying to find a husband. I didn't like this at all. Gets it down. Karen Jarrett, Sienna, Taryn Terrell, and Taya Valkyrie are backstage, and they all Sienna, Taya Valkyrie, and Taryn Terrell all won a 6-woman tag team match against Gail Kim, Rosemary Nally, and Karen Jarrett granted to them. I didn't like this segment actually because Karen Jarrett was trying to be a babyface, but she's such a bitch that she acts like a heel. So this is a down. And then we had the main event, and this took place in AAA. And what's weird is they taped this months in advance, but they tried to make it seem like it was actually going on at the time. But it was a G.F.W. Global World Heavyweight Championship match. G.F.W. Global World Heavyweight Champion Eli Drake versus Bronzy. I don't know if that's how you say his name. But pretty much, this was actually a pretty good match, but I just don't really understand why they showed this and why they took time to show another wrestling company that really wasn't theirs. I get they have like a working promotion, but they main evented this over a match that was actually in the Impact Zone. I thought that was strange. And this made Johnny Impact look stupid because they had advertised that this match was going to happen. So kayfabe-wise anyways, Johnny Impact should have known that Eli Drake wasn't there, so it was weird. But Eli Drake dominates a good portion of this matchup. Bronzy hits pretty cool Hurricane into a DDTs, a cool flip dive outside, but then eventually Eli Drake hits the gravy train for the win, and he ends up retaining the Global World Heavyweight Championship, and now he's going to defend it at G.F.W. Victory Road on the next episode, which I'll be watching. I'll be doing a live reactions to that because there's some pretty good matches to come, like the X Division Championship match between Trevor Lee and P.D. Williams, the Tag Team Championship match between Ortiz and Santana versus OVE, the Impact World Championship match between Eli Drake and Johnny Impact. So I'm looking forward to those matches, and that's pretty much it. Although I actually thought Impact was a very average, run-of-the-mill show, really nothing really of note. Actually thinking about it now, I didn't really care much for this show. The only thing I really liked on this show was the stuff with Johnny Impact, the X Division Championship video package, and there was something else I liked on this show. I don't even remember what it was. Oh, the OVE stuff, I guess. And the knockout stuff wasn't too bad, but this really wasn't that good of a show. It didn't really hype me up to really want to watch GFW Victory Road. So I'm gonna give this probably really was not that good of a show. So I'm gonna give it an F, and I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time you upload a video, you guys will get the notifications for it. And make sure you guys do the same thing for my Owen the Talkinator and CM Brothers channel. That's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.